John here. I'm going to show you how to fix your inoperable or intermittent inoperable backup camera when you shift into reverse. It's an actual fix. All them other videos you watched didn't fix yours, did it? Simple fix. It'll take you about 15 minutes. Okay guys, here's your proof. Start the car up. Looky looky, just like Nookie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As you can see, I'm not being soft with the shifter either. The camera works. 3 times in the neutral, slap it up in the reverse. 4 times. As you can see, banging on it, no flicker, no nothing. Now I'm going to show you how to fix it. First thing you do, point down here, either take your door trim tools or a screwdriver, pop that bezel off. Now right down under here, and I'll try and get it with the laser, there's a little pin right down there. I don't know if I point the laser the right way. There's a little pin right there. Take that out with a pair of needle nose pliers. Okay. Pull your shifter straight up. Pull your bezel out. Okay, start the car. One hint, do not disconnect your battery because you need to start your car and put it in reverse to be able to get the center console out. Shift it in reverse. If you look up here, mine's working because I already fixed it. Okay, now come down here either with your door trim tools or your fingers, pull that out, pop that up and around, back into park, turn off the car. Now if you can bring the camera over. Here, let me see, I'll just take it for you. All right. This little green connector here, this goes to your shift gear selector, and then these two here are for your lights. Okay guys, this green plug here, you need to disconnect that. That goes to your 4-wheel drive selector switch. Warning, do not start your car and shift it unless this is plugged in. Disconnect all 3 of those. Move your center console out of the way. This entire job should take you about 15 minutes. Okay. Now, there are 3 10mm bolts. One right there. One right there. And another one up here. Okay, the other thing you got to do, that little wire keeper, you got to pop that out of your way so when you go to remove the shifter, it's not in your way. Okay. Now, lean that over a little bit and pull back. Your cable does give you room. You want to remove this top wire right here. Just push it on a little keeper. Pull that out. Now, I suggest you put white out around this screw. This is your actual shift cable, physical shift cable. My piece of metal there is marred up enough. I don't need to put the white out on there. Okay, this one is an 8mm. Just unscrew that one. Okay, on your cable here, there's a little tang that comes down here on the bottom. You can just pull that out with your fingernail and then get your screwdriver. Okay, here we are at the bench. All right, first thing you have to do, push this level down, shift into reverse, leave it in reverse. Come over here, disconnect these two wires. Simply push in the little lock tab, pull them both out of the way. Okay. Now I've already taken this little keeper ring off. What I had to do the first time, I got a screwdriver under there, grabbed it with a wire cutters, twisted it, and was able to pull it out. Since I've done it before, simple pair of needle nose. We'll eventually get it off. Okay. Push your finger under there just to support it. Smack the top of that pin. Flip it over. Screwdriver, whatever. There you go. Pull that pin out. Hold it up like this. Drop it down. Because otherwise this pin will come out. It's just messy because of white lithium grease. Okay. Now what you're going to want to do is take these three, unclip them. Easiest way to do it, take your finger right there. A little bit of pressure. Push with a screwdriver. This is the switch that is your problem. Okay. Disconnect this one last wire. Get that out of the way. There's 4 little clips here. You can get your fingernails under there. Pop that apart. Now this right here is your issue. Now I've already fixed this, so I have grease in here now, but this normally wobbles and rattles and has way too much play in it. What you want to do, take it out. This is magnetic. Okay, take it out. Clean it up with rubbing alcohol if you see any powder or anything like that. Okay, you want to go right up against the edge of this round part here. In my case, I'm using multi-purpose marine grease, high temperature, and you just want to put grease right there where it's going to ride on the inside of this C-shaped piece, and you put it on both sides. Okay, and you want something good and thick that, you know, has some heat resistance to it, because you got a black console that's going to heat up, and you cannot put this in the wrong way. There's a little sensor right here that lines up with that hole. Okay guys, I want to show you something else. If you look, let me see if I can get it pop out here enough to show you. This has some play in it. It moves a little bit. It's not a severe amount, but in mine, okay, it's the easiest way to take it out. Point that top part up, and then the other part will go out. In mine, it's a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I got probably a little bit of cable stretch, so I'm probably going to have to adjust that cable, but the fact is, that little sensor that picks up whether when you're in reverse, if that wobbles at all, if you got any play in there, you could end up with an intermittent problem again. Because, here, let me get a fresh Q-tip. Because this piece right here, that is actually the sensor that's going to pick up when you're in reverse. Okay? This little notch goes right over that sensor. And what I found the first time I did this, all I did was clean that up. Okay, it had some black powdery residue from the magnet, friction, etc. over 10 years. I just cleaned it up with rubbing alcohol, put the whole assembly back together, and when I put it in the vehicle, I had it in reverse, Camera was working. I smacked that center console down to get it into position, and all of a sudden I had a flicker. That's how I know this switch has something to do with probably most people's issue out there. Because just about every video, blog, etc. I looked at had the same symptoms as mine. Now you can see, nice and smooth, everything snapped together. Now, the other thing I suggest is putting a little bit of silicone around these 3 points here, so when you snap it back into the housing, you don't have any play or wobble there either. Plug that first wire in. Make sure you hear that click. Pull them 2 wires out of the way. Pop all 3 of those through. These 2 wires back up. Take your shifter. Make sure this piece is pointed that way towards where your cable comes in. Okay, so you want it to end up going in there like that. Pop it in from the bottom. And this is the reason you leave it in reverse when you're doing this bench part, is because that switch naturally sits in reverse. Okay, push that in there. Put your pin back through. Give it a little smack there. There it goes. And then you put your little keeper back on. Put that back up in park. Bench repair is done. One more quick suggestion. Once you have this all done with a little extra silicone, take you an extra maybe a minute. Okay, shift through those gears before you put the assembly back in. That way you can be sure everything works. Okay, make sure you end up in park. Okay guys, obvious reinstallation is just reverse of how you took it out. I'm not showing that for time purposes. I do want to point out that this is previously filmed footage. I obviously did go in and change and use white lithium grease this last time. I've been driving on it for almost a month now. Railroad tracks, 4-wheeling, all kinds of crap, had no problems. The one thing you have to keep in mind is your shifter cable adjustment. If it's not adjusted correctly, it will be pushing your shifter handle either forward or backwards just enough to where it will not be centered over that sensor. Easy way to get access to that: move the driver's seat back all the way, pop up the center console right there, basically next to your right thigh. There's a little panel. You can pull that out and you get direct access to the bolt holding your shifter cable in place. Move it a millimeter forward or back, whichever way you think it needs to be, and that should take care of your problem. All right, because that is your main issue. Your shifter is not centered over that sensor. It could just be a cable adjustment. You could try that if you want to, but to get rid of any wobble or anything with that circuit board, the switch, or the little magnetic piece that might be giving you a camera flicker, I suggest you just do the whole repair. All right? Smile. You finally got a fix that's going to fix it for you. Have a good day. Camera works. Hope this helped y'all. Good luck. God bless America.